Hey everybody, and welcome back to Tenza Motorsports. Today we are going to be unboxing and looking over this N55 B30 rebuild kit from Maxpeedingrods, and we'll also be looking at a couple components compared to the original ones. I do have some parts here still. The crankshaft I don't have here, but what I was thinking was maybe taking a few of these components over to the machine shop and having the guy that does all my machine work for me look everything over and tell me what he thinks. He has done a few kits like these for other cars and they've worked out well, so I'm hoping for the best. So let's get this thing popped open. We're going to pull out this first thinner one and we'll pop this thing open and see what's inside. Looks like lots of gaskets. Some O-ring gaskets, looks like the valve cover gasket. This looks like the head gasket. And then the oil pan gasket. Looks like we've got the piston rings. And then we've got the I think these are the timing cover pieces that press in. I'm not as familiar with the N55 engine as I am with like the N54. So I apologize if I don't recognize everything up front, but looks like this is a set of gaskets and then some hardware. The only thing about this kit that makes me a little bit nervous is the head gasket and the oil pan. The oil pan on this car is insane to get to, so I'm going to be looking these over very carefully and scrutinizing them, and we'll see if we use them or not. The main reason I got this kit was for the pistons and the timing, but this comes with everything. As you can see, lots of stuff. I did open this one up earlier. I did check to make sure everything looks okay. The crank did come out of this box here just a smidge, like it just broke the side of that box, so hopefully we're okay there. But looks like we've got our connecting rods here, and these are actually broken rods. So this is the style where they make them one piece and they bust them, and that way they fit perfectly together. As you can see here, they don't even look like they're supposed to come apart, which is pretty cool. So everything looks good so far. I will be laying this out as we go along and showing some more things in detail, but for right now I just kind of want to get this big box off of my workbench so we can look at everything closer up. Looks like we got some timing chain guides, the timing chain itself, sprockets, tensioner, another timing chain. Oh, we got two timing chains in there. So this is the whole kit here. The other thing is we did get from Maxpeedingrods the actual timing chain tool to help us get this engine into time. This box here looks like the head bolts and then some other hardware. And here are the pistons. I want to wrap one of these real quick. And I want to compare, because I do have some pistons, I would like to compare the pistons. And then, I don't know how much of the rings we can look at, but I'd like to compare the pistons, the connecting rods. Yeah, just a few things that I have here at the house still from the old engine. All right, another box up here. Looks like we've got, this is the other timing. So I think this runs like the Vano system. That's what that looks like. And that other box over there looks identical to this one, so it's probably the other one because there's two of these. So there is the other one. So we'll put those aside. We're getting to it. Kind of a cool little box. I probably would have kept the box if it didn't get smashed. So I'm really hoping the crankshaft's in good condition. We'll find out here in just a moment. Here are the rod bearings, pretty standard stuff. And then here are the, well, I would assume this is the crank bearings, but yep, that's what that looks like. Crank bearings. Now we're gonna get the crankshaft out. I'm gonna actually pull this out of the box and move this big box out of the way. And ready for the big reveal, wrapping paper. Nice. So, looks like there is a crankshaft in there. I am a little surprised they shipped it, just put this in that other big box. It's kind of a little silly, but again, we're trying not to spend a ton of money here. You know, shipping is insane, and shipping crankshaft is not cheap. They do have it covered, which is good. Just coated in this really thick shipping grease. Smells like Cosmoline. I unfortunately don't have the other crankshaft here to compare. I am going to take this to my guy that does all machine work, and we'll see. Maybe I'll record a segment with him, but I want to talk about this and his experiences with some of these rebuild kits. All right, here is one of the original pistons, and of course it's super dirty, but this engine did go through a pretty horrific death cycle, so there's damage on it here. I want to pull out the other one and just see how these stack up to each other, what they look like. So I'm actually going to release this cap on the end here real quick, pull the bearing out of this one. And real quick before we move on any further, I want to show, let's see if we can get this to focus right here. See those metal shavings? That was running through this. And I don't think this one had spun yet, but you can see the damage. Oh yeah, look at all those metal shavings down there. Shame. Shame, shame, shame. And it damaged the crankshaft pretty good. The machine work is really, I mean, like, look at that. That is about as tight as you're gonna get without it not fitting. So if you're worried about some of the machine work on this, I'm already impressed. I mean, just buttery smooth, no play, really good stuff. The piston itself, we'll look at the pair of them together. Essentially a carbon copy, same design up top. I'm not seeing anything that throws any red flags. I do kind of want to clean some of this off. Maybe I'll do this section right here because this is probably the cleanest. This right here, you can see the material and just kind of how it's like made. I want to see what it looks like compared to the original. It looks like whatever process is done to make this piston is the same process, because just the way this metal looks and is shaped and feels looks identical. Do you get these, like you get this area here. This is actually just a slightly different shape, this one is, compared to the original. Well, I want to just put this together real quick, just slide it together and see how it feels. No play, and it just slides right in. Wow, yeah, very impressed with it so far. Let's look at this area down here. Looks like the bearing positioning is the same, so you got a notch there and a notch here, and they're both on the same side. Same thing with this guy. There's the two notches, one on each side. Okay, that brake looks really good. I'm really happy with the way these are looking, and just really excited to get this rebuild done. So as of right now, I think the next step for me, and I don't need to necessarily do this on camera, and I'll just report back on what I end up figuring out and deciding. I just need to figure out what gaskets I am and what gaskets I am not going to use. The reason for that is that a lot of the important gaskets, like the head gasket, the oil pan, and a few others, it's better to, even though I got this kit, it'd be better to spend the extra money and then just buy them OEM, and then I know that they'll be good. I definitely don't want to come back in for like a head gasket. And most of the time an oil pan on a BMW isn't that big of a deal, but on these all-wheel drive cars, they're a huge pain in the butt. You have to drop a lot of stuff to get that oil pan down and away from the engine block. So yeah, looking forward to it. Comments or questions down in the comment section below. We do have a lot of videos coming up. I want to show these off here real quick. So we got a couple foam cannons. These are from Maxpeedingrods. They sent me a couple of them. I'm not sure if they're doing both or if they're just like trying to test which one would be better. But I just have a cheap Harbor Freight pressure washer. I'm going to be putting these on that pressure washer and just seeing how well they work. And if I can get the weather around here to behave, I will show these off. I've been wanting to show them off for like a month now, but I went from dying of heat on a random Tuesday to this weekend it snowed. So yeah, it went from like 72, and I think the high today was like 34. So it's just kind of all over the place, and it just depends on what, if I can get my filming schedule and the weather to cooperate with me. But we are pretty early in the year still. In my area, we say that the snow isn't done until June, and sometimes it's not done until July. It's pretty rare, but I have seen snow on the 4th of July. So anyways, I really appreciate it. I'm going to lay all this out and get a whole bunch of footage and pictures, so just enjoy this montage. But yeah, I thought I'd show these off. Pretty big deal. Very excited to get this going, and we'll see how well everything goes.
Bam!